Now, there are a number of different ways that people run these webinars. If you've ever attended one, you may have seen some that are simply just slideshow presentations. I do have a couple of slides to run through for you guys this evening, but for the most part, I'm actually going to be pulling up some live websites and showing you guys some actual techniques in person tonight. Hello, Rick. Thanks for coming in tonight. Down in Florida, not too far away from me. I'm up in South Carolina myself. Now, in case you did not catch the notice ahead of time, I have a special bonus marketing motivation class that I'm going to be providing for all of you guys that hang around until the end of tonight's webinar. This is an hour and 45-minute training video. It's from a recent webinar that I ran, and I don't typically consider myself to be a motivational speaker, but I've worked at home for myself for a long time, and I've had a lot of struggles and obstacles that I've had to overcome to actually get to where I am today. So this particular class is just about teaching you how I get through my day-to-day activities, how I plan more long-term projects, how I stay motivated and actually focused on what I'm doing. So, make sure you stick around till the end of this evening so you can get free access to this video, which you should find to be pretty interesting. Now, just a couple of quick things about myself. In case you do not already know who I am, my name is Ryan Stevenson. I'm married. I have 3 kids. I got started on the internet just as an affiliate marketer. I spent years and years building my own affiliate sites for Amazon and also for other different networks as well. And I never really considered what I did to be anything special, but one day back in 2010, I actually shared one of my Amazon affiliate sites on a marketing forum, and the response that I received was rather overwhelming. I kind of realized at that point that I had a lot of practical knowledge in me that I had been using and kind of developing for years, things that I had learned from years worth of trial and error, and a lot of failures as well as a lot of success along the way. So I had never really considered before that point trying to teach other people the things that I know, but it was then back in 2010 that I actually decided to start creating other products for Amazon affiliates. And since then, I've been creating WordPress plugins for Amazon affiliates, and more recently, I've actually put together my entire knowledge bank, so to speak, on building Amazon sites. So I'm getting more into coaching people these days. Now, one big thing before I actually get into showing some things to you guys tonight, I want to talk to you pretty quickly about passive income. Exactly what is passive income? This seems to be the holy grail that a lot of affiliate marketers are after. They want to be able to simply click a couple of buttons and sit back and make a bunch of money. And they want that money to continue every single month for years into the future, preferably. Well, I think where a little bit of the disconnect comes in here is a lot of people don't realize that in order to achieve that passive income, you might have to do some work that's not so passive to get yourself to that point. You can definitely achieve a really nice passive income with affiliate marketing, but ultimately, you're not going to be rolling in the dough by just clicking a button and building the same type of website that everybody else is building. This evening, Nancy, the training is just going to be an hour or so. So this will not be horribly long or in-depth here. Now, I'm going to pause for just a little while on the slideshow here and actually pull up, you're welcome, Nancy, and pull up some live websites for you guys to talk to you about some things in person that I find to be really, really important when it comes to being an Amazon affiliate. Now, all of you guys are in here because you recently picked up Azon Rocket. This particular WordPress plugin does a really great job of creating websites for you. But the key thing to remember is that there are a lot of different ways that you can actually go about using this software, or really even any other software out there for that matter. The key thing that you need to understand is that by simply purchasing a software title that can create automated pages, you could possibly end up with the exact same content and pages and page titles as other affiliate marketers that are out there. And ultimately, this type of site building strategy, it's a little bit flawed because a lot of people think that that's simply all they need to do to be able to start earning this amazing passive income. Well, in theory and on paper, it might sound good and it might even work on a small scale, but when you multiply this hundreds or thousands of times through all these different affiliate marketers, then the system kind of begins to break down and you have too many people simply targeting the same products. Now, what you need to do to overcome this is not necessarily to avoid automated software. Automated software is great to help save you time and even help save you money. But what you need to do is actually embrace the other options that are available for you in software titles like this. With Azon Rocket, for example, you can go through and you can select specific products that you want to publish a post on. But then you also have the option of clicking on the Open Editor button and actually changing some of the product details. You could change the title of the post, or you could change some of the description that is automatically published for that. When you do this, you are setting yourself up to have a much, much better chance of actually succeeding when it comes to attracting traffic to your site. Because without that traffic, ultimately, the greatest website in the world isn't going to do anything unless somebody's visiting it. Well, how do you get traffic to these Amazon affiliate sites? Typically, it's going to come from places like Google and other search engines. You could be paying for advertising to get traffic to your site, but it's really not that cost effective because the commissions that Amazon is paying and the prices that advertising networks charge for the cost per click advertising, it simply just doesn't add up. You need to be getting some kind of free traffic on a daily basis to these affiliate sites so you can get to that point of the passive income. And changing things up a little bit, doing things different from what everybody else out there is doing, is how you can actually accomplish that. Now, I'm here on Amazon because I want to actually show you guys a few things having to do with the Amazon website itself. I think that a lot of affiliates really don't take the time to go to Amazon. They have all this software that can automatically create pages on their site or advertisements for them, allow them to search through the different Amazon products, so they typically don't even go to Amazon at all. Well, personally, I feel like this is a bit of a mistake. You can still make money by avoiding Amazon completely, but by frequenting Amazon and seeing what they have to offer from the customer's perspective, you can actually find some products that will sell great and everybody else may not necessarily be promoting them. And you can also find some unique opportunities for actually targeting potential traffic that you want to bring to your website. So this is actually what I want to walk you guys through here today really quickly, is some of these perhaps less known potential opportunities on Amazon. Now to start with, I've clicked on this Today's Deals link up at the top of the window. Now, this typically would bring you to the gold box deals that are on Amazon. But as you can see, there are actually a ton of different deals available on here because of the holiday season rapidly approaching. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are major sales holidays on Amazon, obviously also out there in the real retail world. Well, Amazon has these special deals that only come around on these special occasions like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. They actually run them for entire weeks though, and not just for those single days. Just in a few more days here, their Black Friday deals will actually be kicking off. Now, a lot of these Black Friday deals, they are what is known as lightning deals. A lightning deal has limited quantities and also a limited time frame in which they can be sold. They're also being sold at some kind of steep discount typically. As you get more into Black Friday and Cyber Monday, these deals get even better. Some of these things will actually sell out in a matter of minutes instead of the couple of hours that they're typically available for. Now, as an affiliate, if you want to actually try to target some of these products and you're using automated software, solely relying upon it for it to find the products and to create the advertisements and then the pages on your site for you, you would ordinarily miss out on this type of thing because that automated software can't pick up these lightning deals. It would know about the product that lies behind the lightning deal, but it would not actually let you know about this lightning deal itself, which means you couldn't advertise it on your own website and actually take advantage of it. Well, to be able to take advantage of these, unfortunately, you have to put in a little bit of work. You have to come to Amazon yourself and visit this page and actually find deals that you want to promote. Instead of focusing on the deals that are already currently running though, go a little bit into the future and find the deals that have not yet started. And you can find out an exact time frame that these deals are going to be running. And then all you have to do is visit one of these products on Amazon and take note of the ASIN up in the URL for this product and simply create an advertisement or a page on your site for this product, and then make sure you add in the extra information about the upcoming deal. Now, you may not necessarily know what the deal is going to be ahead of time, but you can find out what product it will be featured on ahead of time. So you can put yourself in a position to actually refer some sales on these things. And they're pretty easy sales, especially during the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday weeks. There are actually specific pages here for the Black Friday Deals Week, and then there is another one also for Cyber Monday Deals Week. So this is actually 2 different weeks where these special deals are going to be taking place. That's a good question, Nancy. You're asking, what is an ASIN? That is right here, if you can see up in the URL of this product, where it says GP/product, and then you have this alphanumeric phrase here. This represents the actual Amazon product, and each of them have a different one. I believe, let's see, yes, you can also find it down here in the product details as well, if you just scroll a little bit down the page on any given product. A lot of software titles that will create pages for you or advertisements, for example, you can typically punch in these ASIN numbers. They are unique to one specific product on Amazon. So by simply providing this number into software of different kinds of plugins that might create a page on your site for you, then you can have it create that page for you automatically, and then simply go back in and make your own adjustments to it in terms of the content, the title, and featuring the information about the upcoming Lightning deal that will be available for it. Now, the next thing that I would like to show you here, there are other types of deals here. Once you get past the holiday season, you're still going to have these gold box deals remaining. And in addition to that, you'll also have a lot of these other options up here, coupons and warehouse deals. The coupons can be interesting for very specific types of products. It all kind of depends on what type of website you're building, really, as to whether some of these coupons could actually be beneficial to you or not. Obviously, if you're running some type of electronics website, you wouldn't have any need to have coupons on there for things like diapers and hot cocoa mix, for example. But if you could find some actual relational products on here that have coupons available for them, coupons are another great way that you can easily refer sales and also give yourself something different that you can write about in your content that's not going to be automated, and it's not going to be the same thing as what everybody else is out there doing. Now, the next thing I would like to do, I want to talk to you guys about using Amazon to actually find out some unique selling points and unique ways that you can target content on your site. This could be going after different types of keyword phrases that other people might not be trying to target, or it could simply be by providing useful content on your website. Hello, Art. It's okay you're late. There will be a replay issued later this evening. Will likely be around midnight or so, Eastern Standard Time. You're quite welcome. Now, I'm going to go into an actual product listing here. It really doesn't matter what kind of product listing I decide to go into. I could just kind of pick anything. So I could select, one of these camera lenses, for example. Now, what I really want to point out to you here is, first of all, within one single product that is on Amazon, sometimes you have multiple products that are actually combined into a single listing. Whenever you see these different options available for you down here, this is an immediate indication that there are actually multiple products available here. So the information that you're seeing on this page and the information that may typically be pulled through automated software could actually be different if you were to select one of these other option types. For example, with this particular product, the initial product type seems to be just a basic beginner's type of kit, and then it goes up from there into more complex types of kits. Well, not only would the details of these products change, but the prices of these products can actually change. Whereas this starter product here is $60, this more complete product here is actually $170. So the question is, which one would you end up promoting on your site? Would you go after promoting all three of them? Would you only use automated software to target one of them? Or would you try to sell each of these individual products to people based on what their needs may be? Personally, I prefer to go after the latter one there. I want to target people's needs. I'm looking for not only a commission on a sale, but I want to help to solve people's problems as well. Because ultimately, if you're bringing in traffic off of a search engine, then that's what a lot of those people are looking for. They're looking for you to solve some type of problem for them. It may be an informational problem. They might want to know something about a particular product, or it could simply be more of a review type of situation where they want to find out which product might be better than another product, or which one might be better, a better fit for a particular kind of situation. Well, if you're only depending on automated software again, you can often overlook these types of scenarios. One particular thing that I really want to point out here, I've scrolled pretty far down the page on this particular listing, and I'm actually down here to where the customer reviews are. Now, this is only going to work on a product that has existing customer reviews, but there's some more information here that I'm also interested in. Before I move on to these reviews, I actually want to jump right back up here to these questions and answers that people have. Now, when you're trying to build a web page to target an Amazon product, and you're trying to attract search engine traffic that is specifically targeted to that product or whatever subject matter you may be going after on your site, you want to have really good, useful information for these people so they can actually resolve whatever kind of conflict is going on within them, and it allows them to proceed with making a purchase. If you have a question about a product that you're interested in buying, you wouldn't actually proceed with purchasing that product until you could find an answer to that question. Well, as an affiliate marketer, if you can predict those situations ahead of time and present people with the answers to their problems without even necessarily knowing what their exact problem is going to be, then you can do something that 99% of other affiliate marketers are not doing, and actually refer not just random sales here and there, but one after another, because you're simply solving people's problems. You're giving them what they're looking for. And one of the best things about this is the long-term benefits. For those of you that are really looking for that passive income that's going to continue month after month, not just for a couple of months, but for years into the future, you need to remember where that money is coming from ultimately. If you have an affiliate website and you're getting your traffic off of Google and that traffic is converting into sales for you, ultimately, while Amazon's paying you the money, your money's really coming from Google in that type of situation. If Google were to cut off your listings or simply bump them to worse rankings, that would ultimately affect your bottom line. So the key thing is really to address where your traffic is coming from and make sure you're satisfying them, and then make sure you're satisfying the people that actually visit your website. Now, with Google, for example, they always have these new algorithm updates, and you always hear about people going crazy every time a new update is released because they're scrambling, having to make changes to their site because that loophole that they previously found is no longer working. Well, if you're building websites correct from the get-go and you're providing the search engines with unique content, then you're actually giving them what they want. You don't have to fight with them. You don't have to worry about future updates. You simply sit back and collect the traffic, and Google is happy to do that for you because you're giving them what they want and you're giving website visitors what they want. Now, I'll be getting back to this in just a few here. Can everybody still hear me okay out there? Looks like I have one or two minute or two ago that said audio cut out. Looks like pretty much everybody is okay. I have experienced that before, where just a random person or two can't hear. It could potentially be your internet connection. Sometimes the slower internet connections have problems keeping up with downloading that video and the audio for you at the same time. Thank you very much, everybody. Wow, Art, Ken, Y, Val, Michael, Colin, Paul, John, Rick, Gary, appreciate that, letting me know that everything's working okay there. Let's see, Armando was also asking, will I be going into configuring SEO keywords to be effective to draw traffic for the products chosen? I will be briefly touching on SEO keywords here before the end of this evening. Now, as I was talking to you before about the useful content that you ultimately need to have on your site, that content not only needs to be useful, but at least some of it needs to be unique. You can't just build a website 100% off of the content that's coming straight from Amazon, or else why would a search engine really want to send traffic to that site when it's just a duplicate of another site? And even then, Amazon probably has more information than your site has. And when you combine that with the fact that 10, 20, 100 other affiliates might be going after the same product or the same type of subject matter as you, then it really becomes hard to actually win when you're solely dependent upon that automated software and content. So make sure you actually go in and edit not necessarily all of your listings, but at least some of them, and make them special, make them stand out from the rest of them. And then build some other pages on your site that aren't composed of any automated content, that target completely different subjects. Maybe they don't even target products at all. Well, one of my favorite ways to try to target content when it's not based upon necessarily a specific product is to go after certain points of consumer concerns when it comes to maybe a specific product, but a lot of times these concerns stretch beyond one single product and they cover pretty much an entire industry. Well, instead of having to go out and do a whole bunch of tedious research for this kind of information, I actually get this information straight off of Amazon. But I'm getting this from something that is not typically picked up by automated software. So I'm going to end up with something different from what everybody else is doing. And that is these customer questions and answers right here. Everybody can pick up these customer reviews. Azon Rocket picks these up and will publish some of these on your website. Well, these questions and answers right here are not provided in Azon Rocket because they can't be provided in that. Amazon does not provide access to this information through their API system. I personally develop WordPress plugins and even Amazon plugins myself, so I can tell you this beyond a shadow of a doubt. Other affiliates are not grabbing this information because they can't get it in an automated manner. Well, what you want to do is not come to Amazon and just copy and paste this information, because then you would only have what Amazon has relating to these subject matters. What you want to do instead is come to Amazon, look at these questions and answers for products that you're already promoting on your site or products that you plan to promote on your site. Read through the different questions and read through the answers that are available for them. Don't stop at just the first answer either. Right here for this first question, for example, does it fit a 35mm lens? And there's an answer right here, but below that there is also a link where I can view even more answers for this particular question. You don't just want to take one answer as a definite fact, because this information is not coming from Amazon, it's not coming from the people that create the product or even sell the product. This is coming from actual customers of the product, people that are really using these things. So you need to make sure that the validity of this information kind of checks out. And sometimes when you have multiple answers is one really easy way to do that. Now, below these 3 questions right here, you have another link. See all 14 questions and answers. Make sure you click on this so you can actually see all the different questions that are available here and not just the couple that are shown on the first page. Be sure to look for the pagination down at the bottom as well, because there could be multiple pages worth of these questions and answers here for one single product. Now, you might be wondering, exactly what am I supposed to do with this information? When you're trying to attract people off of a search engine for a particular product, what better information could you provide them with than the potential answers to their questions? And you say, how do I know what people are going to be asking when they come and visit my website? Well, if you have a lot of people asking questions right here on Amazon, and some of these questions seem to be a little bit similar, then it's usually a great indication that this question is a question that a lot of people are going to have. So why not pick up that question and read through the different answers that are available for it, and then create some unique content on the product page of your own website to address these points of concern. Again, don't simply copy and paste the information from Amazon to your site. Reword it, put it into your own words. Don't use article spinning either. Make this real, unique content that you've actually created yourself. So you're satisfying the need for some unique content on your pages, and you're also satisfying the need of search engines and your website visitors. The end result is a much better website after all is said and done, and you also get a much more profitable site that can remain in the search rankings for many years. Now, the next thing I like to do this evening is to show you a little bit briefly about search engine keywords. A lot of people are a little bit confused in terms of what they should actually be targeting on a search engine. One of the most common things that Amazon affiliates out there are already doing today is creating these sites with automated software, and the page titles of their various posts and pages on the site are all duplicates of page titles that are already on Amazon. For example, if I were to use automated software to create a page on my site for this particular product, that page would get named after this title right up here. And then if somebody else came along and had a different website and did the same thing, they would have a page with the exact same title. Well, when it comes to search engine optimization, your title is your primary place to actually have keyword placement. You want to have primary keyword phrases that you're targeting on a specific page showing up in your title somewhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be the entire title, but you need for some kind of search engine keyword phrase to be in the title of your page if you want to attract search engine traffic. But not only that, you need for your title to have something unique about it, or else why would Google pick your site over the other dozens or hundreds of sites that have pages with the exact same title on them? So something that I like to do to try to overcome this problem is to change things up a little bit, to do something that not everybody out there is doing. If you have software that's creating a site automated for you that's based upon products, then go out there and try to find keyword phrases related to those products that are not based on products whatsoever. As an example, back on this page, this particular product right here, this is a starter accessory kit for a camera. Well, instead of trying to go after this exact product and keyword phrases relating to it, like Nikon accessory kit, or even referencing specific model numbers, I'm looking for something more general, but also something that relates to a very specific type of product instead. I want to get rid of any model numbers or brand words that are in that potential product, and I just want to break it down to the essential keyword phrase. So I could say something like digital camera lens accessory kit, or it could just be a digital camera accessory kit potentially. So I'm going to search this particular keyword phrase just to see what I can come up with here. Now, first of all, we have these two different tabs right here. In case you don't already know where I am, I guess I didn't mention that before, I'm in the Google Keyword Planner. The Keyword Planner has replaced the Google Keyword Tool. Ultimately, the information they show you now in the Keyword Planner is less information than what they showed you before in the Keyword Tool. However, I actually like this Keyword Planner better because the information that I was interested in out of the Keyword Tool is still here in the Keyword Planner, except it's easier to get to. It's right here in front of my face instead of having to dig for it. And I'll get to what I'm talking about regarding to that here in just a minute or two. Now, these two different tabs, one of them is an ad group ideas. We have different types of keyword phrases that are grouped based upon some type of relevance factor. So when I click on one of these, if I click on camera accessories, for example, I am shown different kinds of camera accessories related keyword phrases. Some of these phrases have brand names in them, like Canon cameras accessories, and others do not. Now, on this other page here, the keyword ideas, this is essentially the same type of thing. I still have a listing of keyword phrases, but it's not grouped in any way. It's simply sorted based on relevance, or I could also actually change the way they're sorted by clicking on one of these columns up here and have them sorted by monthly search count, for example. Well, if I'm looking to build some kind of content on my site that is going to target these products that I already have pages for on my website that were built with my automated software, what I want to do is to create some type of additional content on my site, and preferably on separate pages of my site, that would target some relational keyword phrases. And the whole point of these pages would be to provide useful informational content to try to pick people up off of the search engines. And then you essentially treat those pages like a funnel, and you direct people along to the relevant product pages on your site. So you're solving the problems, you're accomplishing your goals of actually earning the commissions, and it's all being done in a way that has long-term viability, because search engines simply love these types of sites. So if I were to try to pick out some keyword phrases that were relational to this main product that I was looking at, I could find them through the ad group ideas. I could find them through the keyword ideas. It really doesn't matter, but I just want to make sure I'm going after something that has a fairly low monthly search count. And the reason why is because when you get into higher search counts, like anything over 1,000 searches a month, you're going to be dealing with much more competition in the organic rankings. But if you can build pages off of these lower traffic but very specific phrases, then you can bring in targeted traffic on a regular basis and funnel them along to the product pages on your site. Now, one particular thing I want to point out here is this little icon that is sitting right next to the traffic amount. This icon provides me with information that I used to have to dig to find in the keyword tool. And if you're using some kind of automated software to do keyword research for you, you might not have access to this information whatsoever. But personally, I find this to be some of the most important information that you can get about any given keyword phrase that you decide to target. The reason why here, this number that Google provides you is an average monthly search count. This is an average for the last year's worth of traffic. Well, if you're building a website to target a keyword phrase, you don't necessarily have any kind of guarantee that this traffic will be stable all year long. This little icon right here, though, this can be easily used to give you a quick indication of what type of market you're dealing with for this particular keyword phrase. By simply hovering over it, you are provided with not just an average for a year, but actual months worth of keyword traffic here. So you can hover over a specific month and see that these search counts actually can vary from one month to the next. Well, you can often find out whether you're dealing with a seasonal niche by simply looking at this information right here. Some products will sell good all year long, while other products may only sell really good during a particular time of the year. It's important to know this information before you actually build a website to try to target these products, because you might start to make a bunch of money during a month or two, and you might think that that money would continue for every month throughout the rest of the year, but all of a sudden that money could dry up or cut in half, and you might think something was wrong with your website, when in fact it could just be because you're dealing with some type of seasonal market. A lot of these products, for example, with these camera accessories, you can obviously see that right before the holiday season in November and in December, you have search counts here that are actually higher than this monthly average. But then you have other months throughout the year where these counts are actually lower. Well, if you're targeting a lower traffic phrase that is a seasonal keyword phrase, then you can get traffic off of that phrase without a ton of competition. But if these are seasonal phrases, you might have particular months of the year where you could get 2 or 3 or 4 times the normal average for these particular keyword phrases. And if you build enough different kinds of websites that go after different seasonal niches throughout the year, you can actually jump onto some of these higher traffic months here on particular niches without having to deal with a lot of the high competition in the organic search results. Let's see, I got a couple questions here. That's a very good question, Daryl. Daryl is asking if we should target keywords even if the monthly searches are low but competition says high. Right here, this competition column, this is actually something that should be more or less ignored. This competition gauge right here only applies to paid advertisements on Google. So when you see high competition right here, this tells you that people are paying to have advertisements placed on this keyword phrase. But it doesn't necessarily mean that people have targeted this particular keyword phrase as an organic keyword phrase to the point where it would be considered heavy competition. To actually gauge the competition of a particular keyword phrase, you have to go to Google itself and do a little bit of research there. You want to see the different websites that are ranked up in the top 10. You want to research them a little bit in terms of how much work they've had to put forth to achieve that ranking. You know, do they have one page on their site dedicated to that topic? Or is their entire 100-page website dedicated to that topic? You know, how many years have they been around? How many other respectable websites out there link back to them in a highly relational manner? You know, there's a lot of different outside factors that are involved with the actual organic ranking competition, but you should definitely not take what Google tells you here as the competition to necessarily mean anything, at least as far as you're concerned, because you're not going to be putting Google advertisements up. You're going to be going after free rankings. Now, I obviously have a lot more that I can teach you guys about building Amazon sites, about researching products, keywords, even doing marketing when it comes to after the fact, once your sites are actually built. I obviously cannot share all that information within the course of a single hour, but for those of you that are interested in learning more with me, I have a series called the Azon Masterclass that is actually my complete strategy from start to finish in terms of building Amazon sites. And this strategy can be adjusted to use with any other software out there. It really doesn't matter whether you're using Azon Rocket or maybe you have some other websites that already exist out there that are built with other plugins. It doesn't matter. You can still take my strategies and make improvements to these sites and actually get them showing up in the search rankings and attracting traffic and generating commissions for you. Well, this entire series, the Azon Masterclass, it's actually 12 different classes. Each class has an ebook guide to go along with it. These ebooks are at least 20 pages long a piece. Some of them go up to about 40 pages long for the largest one. And then those ebook guides go along with the actual training lesson, which is in video format, where it's actually from live webinars that I ran, where I was actually showing people my strategy over my shoulder from start to finish. And now these recordings are available for a much cheaper price. Well, on top of that, I also include developers licenses for 5 of my Amazon WordPress plugins. These are plugins that I use to build my own Amazon sites, and they're even plugins that can be used in combination with other plugins like Azon Rocket, for example. So I want to make sure that, people that join into this particular class, they don't have to purchase anything else. The only thing they're going to need is a website hosting account and a domain name for each site that they want to build. And a lot of times, most people joining these actually already have that kind of thing ready to go. So there's really nothing else to buy. There's no hidden fees in this. I don't say later on, oh, you need to pick up this software or this additional training. It's nothing like that. It's all straightforward. What you need is what you get. Now, in addition to the main Azon Masterclass series and the software that I provide with it, I also have a previous training series that I did called Techie Masterclass, and I provide you guys with free access to that as well. That's actually 5 more ebooks and 5 more video recordings from live webinars, and those are the same length and time as the normal Azon Masterclass. Now, this Techie Masterclass series, it is designed to teach you the basics of what you need to know to run a website, and this is being done from a technical standpoint. Sure, John. John's asking if I could put the link in here. For those of you that would like to take a look at this page, I have provided that link in the chat box for you here. Now, this Techie Masterclass, the 5 classes that are a part of it, they're teaching you the basics of how to run a site and also how to build a site, but also to do so in a non-automated manner. I know a lot of people that end up using WordPress plugins and are simply using WordPress to build their sites may not have possibly any technical knowledge, but I feel like you can do so much more with your online marketing business if you have even some basic technical knowledge for you to work with, for you to do something different from what everybody else out there is already doing. So the 5 classes that are in that series, The first one is more of a control panel class. It teaches you about your web hosting control panel and how to do some of the most important things there, one of them being backing up your websites and restoring those backups as well. The additional classes in that series, they are more based inside of WordPress, where I actually walk you guys through learning some basic HTML and CSS so you can actually create your own customized website designs on your WordPress sites to make them stand out from everybody else. And then the remaining two classes in that, they get a little bit more technical. They go into some PHP programming and debugging on your own websites. It's not necessarily information that you're all going to need right away, but at some point in your website building career, I think you will find those useful and be glad that you had access to them. Now, depending on which option you decide to go with, I have two different options available for you for this Azon Masterclass. Even though the training itself is an ebook and video recordings, I'm not leaving you guys to simply do this on your own. Both options that I offer have some type of personal one-on-one coaching session time with me, where you can have a Skype call, a phone call, or I'll even run a webinar just like I'm doing now, except you'll be the only person attending. So I can actually enable your microphone if you would like for me to. We can chat back and forth. I can pull up your website that you're working on. We can discuss some of your plans and actually help you get something figured out that can work for you and whatever your given situation is. So depending on how much personal help you feel like you would need, that's what those two different options are available for. The lower option, you'll get at least one personal coaching session with me that would be an hour long. So we can really do that at any point in time of your choosing. If you feel like you would benefit more from having that towards the beginning of the training, so I can help you to get together a game plan and perhaps approve the niche and the different products that you're going to be going after, that's great. If you would prefer to wait until after you've built a site so I can kind of review the work that you've done, that's quite okay as well. It's really kind of up to you. I'll let you guys schedule these sessions whenever works best for you. Please feel free to let me know if you have any questions concerning this Azon Masterclass. This will only be available for the next week. This will be closing down at midnight on Tuesday, November the 26th, 2013, of course. Now, since this is only available for the next week, obviously this is being done because I can only take on so many different new students at any one given point in time, because I don't outsource anything that I do. All this personal interaction time, it's going to be directly with me and not some employee of mine that I have paid to essentially represent me. You actually get me. So I have to simply limit how many students I can take on at any one point in time. Now, in addition to the fact that it is closing in just a week, for those of you that do decide to go ahead and join up with me this evening, I can actually give you 3 hours to make a final decision on this, so until midnight Eastern Standard Time tonight on November the 19th. If you decide to join up for either of the two options before midnight this evening, then I will actually provide you with my other 4 WordPress plugins. part of the package here, you get developer licenses for 5 of my Amazon WordPress plugins. Well, I've been building WordPress plugins since 2010. I maintain and update all of my plugins. They're all still functional and working with the latest versions of WordPress. So in addition to these 5, I actually have 4 more. One of them is still an Amazon plugin, and the other 3 are more or less different types of useful tools that can still help you on your Amazon sites. So anyone joining up before midnight tonight, when I contact you to schedule your one-on-one coaching session, then I will also provide you with free developers licenses for my additional 4 WordPress plugins as well. Sorry, Daryl, there are not currently payment plans available for this series. I've offered them in the past before, and ultimately they're a little bit hard to manage. There's really nothing on the customer end that kind of stops them from canceling it at any point in time, or if the payment simply fails to go through for a couple of days, then it'll just completely cancel the subscription. So I do have to avoid offering payment plans, unfortunately. Thank you, John. John said he has my plugins, and they're awesome. I put a lot of work into my plugins. If you remember me saying I actually got started creating plugins in 2010, and I only have 9 of them 4 years later. So, I'm not pumping these plugins out every single month like a lot of other developers out there are. I don't outsource the development of them either. I personally program and support all of these plugins myself. So, I put a lot of time into these, and I only release typically about 2 of them or so each year. So they definitely, at least what I would consider to be a little bit above and beyond what a lot of other plugins out there are. Thank you, Stephen. I'm glad you enjoyed the presentation and content I had to share tonight. Your wife is saying, so what, jump on this deal, Daryl? Thank you. It is, for some people, I know can be a lot to take on. But, if you are serious about building that real passive income as an Amazon affiliate, and you're struggling with the strategies you've been using and your current methods and knowledge, then this series is definitely something that can put you on track. And with the one-on-one coaching included with it, I can ensure that you're actually following along with that and getting the most out of your investment in this. I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to, Nancy. I'm not the creator of Azon Rocket. That's OJ James. I am doing this for him, this webinar this evening. This is more along the lines of what I'd kind of consider my specialty, and he likes the strategies that I teach and felt like they were very conducive with his software, so he asked me to share some information with you guys tonight. You're quite welcome, Rick. I'm glad you enjoyed it tonight. Yeah, that probably is my daughter. If it's the one I was holding in that picture, my wife, and that's probably my youngest daughter. I have three. Yes, with the pumpkins. It's my youngest daughter. She actually will be celebrating her second birthday here in just a few more days. Now, again, thank you all for coming out tonight, and even more so for sticking around for the whole thing. As promised, I have that marketing motivation webinar replay for you guys. Just visit this address that you see on your screen, and I will also add this into the chat box for you here, so you can simply click on it. There's absolutely nothing to buy here. Just visit that page and you can watch that additional training video at your own convenience. I really think you'll find it helpful. I share a lot of my personal information as far as how I basically get by on a day-to-day basis as a work-at-home internet marketer, and even more so how I do it with a wife and 3 children, and even young children at that. I have been forced in the past. I currently have a private office. It'd be pretty hard to do webinars without a private office. I still work in the comfort of my own home, though, but that was not always the case in terms of having that privacy for myself. There was a point in time when my office was in the middle of the living room, simply because as I had more kids, my office ended up being lost to a nursery. So I had no choice but to move into the living room with my office for a while and work, with kids running around, sometimes screaming. And, obviously it could be really hard to concentrate in that kind of situation. But, if I didn't proceed through and actually get work done and continue to make progress, then I wouldn't make money for my family. So I had to find a way to push through it. And I talked to you guys about all that in this free bonus webinar. So again, thank you all for coming out tonight. And I really appreciate all of your additional comments and questions that you guys have had for me this evening. Please feel free to let me know if you have any questions. If you are sitting around debating whether to join my coaching program or not, and you have additional questions for me, I don't mind at all. I don't bite. Please feel free to get in touch with me. I'm actually adding an additional link here into the chat box for you guys. And just in case you happen to be watching a recording of this at a later point in time, that link is ryanstevensonplugins.com/support. That gets you to my support ticket system. You won't get in touch with somebody from another country that's going to respond to your support ticket and make you go through a bunch of hoops to actually get an answer for a question from me. You can just send me a message and I'll personally respond to you over there. Sorry about that, Clinton. You're actually already in the live class. The personal coaching, if you do feel like that's something that you need, Clinton, please feel free to get in touch. It doesn't have to be